Good morning. Let's get started on the new handle on the Natchez Bowie. Now, if you didn't see this knife in a previous video when it came in, the owner of this knife wanted a new handle. It's going to be elk stag. And now he did not tell me that the handle was loose. I noticed as soon as I picked it up, I noticed it. Now I notice things like that on knives because I've been fooling with knives for a lot of years. That's what I do. But, anyway, y'all remember that's handle loose. Now, this knife is brand new, never been used. Save that. And before we get into this, I'm going to tape it up. Leave that there. I want to protect all this. This is coming off, may or may not be reused. We'll see. So first, we're going to wrap it with a paper towels, or paper, cardboard, anything. Just you don't want to mess up that cover if we don't have to. Like that. Come across up here. This painter's tape will come right off of there when it's time. And this one may be able to twist this one off, and I may have to destroy it and get it off, like I have every other one of these I've done. Like that. Stuff is sticky, I'll tell you that. I'll cover the most of that. This will probably be a long video, and it will not be finished today. It'll take a couple of days. Originally had something else to do today I was gonna do, but I don't know how that goes. Can't do what I was gonna do. Might as well work. Beat sitting in the house. No, that's good enough. That aggravates the snot out of me. Now, Cold Steel lists this knife on their site for over $600. I think on Amazon they were well over $300. And stay tuned for the end of this video. When I get done with it, I'll talk to y'all about Bowie knives, about what I can do, roughly what I charge to do a job like this, and what I charge to do a brand new one from scratch, similar to this, not a direct copy, different steel. But we'll talk about all that at the end of the video. And the next video or so will be one that's very similar to this, made from scratch, on the books already. Now let's get set up in the vise over here and see what we can do. All right, let's get this a shot and see. I think I got the camera you can see. See, that's loose. I think that was what was making our rattle. In case we can reuse it, we're going to try not to scuff it up too bad. Because these are threaded on there and usually jam full of epoxy. Alright, that ain't gonna work. So we're gonna have to go to plan B. Let's just put this over here. Like I always say, if you're squeamish, don't watch. I think that's all one piece, and that's the only way it's going to come off of there. Ready? Don't try this at home. There it goes. Got it split. Stuff's tougher than it looks, you know. Now there's only about this much Tang in here, and the rest of it's that stupid cable. There we go. Oh, didn't even have the cable in it. There it is. See what's going on with that. There it. No, this didn't have a cable. This one's got a screw. Screws into there. It's some epoxy that was broken. See that rust on there? That's what was rattling and moving. It was. No, it's not broken. That was just epoxy to that, like that. Come on, Cold Steel, let's save some more money. Getting this. Anyway, we're going to remedy that. Still got something loose in there. Okay, I know what that is. Alright, we're going to save these for now. Keep that shape. That's a classic Coke bottle tap handle. What do you call those? Coke bottles. Coke bottles of years ago. Now, we'll figure out our next move and be right back. Alright, I discovered the rattle. This Handguard. Is not affixed. Listen to me using them big words. Not fastened. Now I've seen one of these I've done was set with epoxy, which is a good way to do it. And I did a Laredo Bowie, cold steel Laredo. I'm just marking because I don't know, remember which one's the top. Actually was soldered. Which would be the best way to do it. But to solder it properly, have to get it hot. I don't want to get and damage this at all. I don't even like this being off of it right now, but we got to do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean this off. You can see where it was touching, but it wasn't fastened with nothing. Clean this off, and just to hold it stable for right this minute, I'm going to dot some super glue gel just to hold it still. And then when the new handle goes in, it'll go down inside there with epoxy, will run down and hold all that together. And then of course the handle, the pin, and this will be a full Tang also. So and I'll attach the Tang will be aluminum. I'll attach that here and up here. It'll make sense when I get there. So let's get this cleaned off and secure it in there right quick. A little bit of alcohol. Make sure there's no grease or nothing on it. Move over here. Super glue gel, it don't take very much. Hang on. What's going on here? Oh, it's a brand new tube, that's one. Yeah. There we go. Well, this stuff is so handy to have around for all kinds of stuff. Don't tell me there ain't nothing in there. There we go. Just a dab. Like that. And we'll get our little cloth here with a little bit of alcohol on it ready in case we overrun it or something. Ready to clean it off with there. Top was that side right there. Check that out. Tiny bit right there. Here we go. We'll give this a little while to sit and dry. That way it won't flop around when we get to cutting the piece for the handle. Okay, Dummy of the Month award goes to me. Did y'all see what I did? I didn't notice it until almost too late. I put it on upside down. Well, I tell y'all what. What in the world's wrong with me here lately? I'm thinking about 3 knives down the road, and I should be concentrating on what I'm doing. No harm, no foul. It hasn't stuck all the way yet, so. I was testing y'all, see if y'all paying attention to what I'm doing. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I looked at it and I said, that don't look right. That way, Mr. Fix-It. Dot, dot, there we go. That way. Sure no excess came out of there. There we go. You see on the handle how that's milled out and split right down in there? That's the way our handle's going to be as well, but we got to get the Tang piece. We'll go on either side. We got to get it cut and milled out to go in there, just like that one did. Okay, we're going to go back with the basic shape. And remember, this was on the top, give it a little bit more length. Well, adds a little bit of length. And we're not going to try to reuse this. Okay, so we'll just make us a little reference mark there. Try to reuse this, it's it just wouldn't look right, and I'm not going to put another screw in there. Not this particular style. I'm just going to trace this. That'll be a little bit bigger when I cut it out. That'll give me room to wiggle room to adjust it. I think it'll look better with it rounded over, and it being as it's going to be Stag. That. It'll come up sort of like that. Like that. Now, let's head over to the bandsaw and get this roughed out. I think I can hand file these in. I may use the milling machine, but I think I can do it by hand. That way I can take it tiny bits at a time and test it without messing up. Oh, and once we get this cut out, we got to cut a notch out of here too. There we go. Keep on keeping on. Alright, got our pattern traced out. Safety glasses. And we're going to rough this out and then finish it up with the sander. Move this down a little bit. Blade's getting really dull, so just about time for a new one. It'll work with this, maybe. That's hot. Now this is a wider blade than normal. I use it mainly to split antlers and stuff like that. It won't handle the high carbon steel, the 1095. This particular blade won't. So that's why I can't make a tight turn with it. Not really tight. Anyway, we'll do the other side and we'll see some more in a minute. Alright, we got it rough shaped. Now we're going to take a file. Decided not to use the milling machine because I think I can get closer with the file by hand. Got marks on the side over here. Y'all can't see them from where you are. Get started here. This is going to sit down inside that handguard. This is just to be a series of filing it, checking it, filing it, checking it. This is what's going to create the Tang, the full Tang. Alright, it's going to take a few minutes. I'm going to get a bigger file and show you what it looks like here in a minute. Now I can take the old handle where it fit down in and gauge this. Just about there. I went to that one to cut it fast. Okay, this side should be good. I'm gonna flip it over this side. See my marks I put in there. Get started with this side. Do the same thing. Now I can't really tell if it's going to fit down in there. I think it will, but I have to cut this piece here out of here. Now this piece here, let me see, I've been looking at this screw that was in there. There's a little flat right there, and I think that was supposed to fit right up in there like that. It was machined to fit up in there like that, and then tighten up at the end. And there was another piece on this side that was broke off. This piece here went down in that little slot there. I don't like it. I think that's a bad design. Now the cable Tang ones, which I thought that's what these were, most of them are, it's got a hole drilled in there and a steel cable that runs out, which we know that's absolute bull, you know what. But anyway, this piece here, it's going to be hard to work around. It's not necessary to be there, so I'm going to grind that off smooth with here, and then we'll trace out here and cut our Tang to fit down inside there like that. And they'll have a mechanical fastener in this hole here, and then it'll make sense when it all goes together. And then it'll come up and it'll have another pin here, another pin here, elk Stag on both sides, and it may even put liners in there if it need to take up the space. So let's go grind that off real quick. It'll take but a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, we're getting the handle lined up here like this. Trying to get it close to center as I can. That looks good right there. Now, we'll cut that section out. Then it will slide down over there, and we'll adjust this to where it goes down inside here. And then a slab of antler will go on each side and fill in the rest of that gap. Now, let's go back to the saw and cut this out. Well, first I'll drill a hole here to take that material out. There's no way I can turn that in the bandsaw like that. Alright, not going to show taking it over and doing that, but because I got to stop and do something else right quick. But making progress. Okay, got my notch cut out. Got this square file. We got to file it into shape. And just like these, it's take a little bit off, check. Take it off and check. It's gonna take a little bit. All right, after a lot of filing, a little bit more grinding, test fitting, we have our Tang section on. Now it's not fastened yet. I got the little ears that went down in. They're sitting in there flat. Still got to be trimmed a little bit. But now we're ready to get the Stag and get it cut, because it's going to slide down in there too. Get one side epoxied on and drill the pin so we know where to put it when we drill it on the other side. And I'm going to put a stainless steel pin in here, and the other two will also be stainless steel. So we got just enough room around our original Tang there to, with the epoxy, to go into and seal all that up. Now that is 3-ton epoxy. Will hold a lot. Plus, once the slabs get on there and down in there, that is not going to go anywhere. Alright, let's get the antler out and get that selected and get that cut. It's starting to get a little late in the day, so I don't know how much further we'll go, but maybe a little bit, and we'll call this part 1 anyway. Elk horn, nice and wide. Let's see, we'll mark us off a approximate length. Alright, where'd my pencil go? Which one of y'all got my pencil? There we go. Here. For generations, us has been turning the family just like that. Really satisfied, choosing the crunchy. Alright, I got our Tang piece fit just right. Just like I want it. That'll go in like that. A couple of little taps and it'll fit flush all the way around. Tiny bit of a friction fit, which is fine. That's what I want. That'll ensure everything stays tight once the epoxy goes on. Now I split the antler for the handle, and I will put some color on this too in the end and make it look a little nicer. Now the original handle, .06, a little bit more than an inch, which is about right. This one, 1.37, so I've got to grind off a lot of the inside, more this piece than that one, the way it's shaped. And to grind that much antler, I don't want to do it in the shop because the whole place will get covered with it. So it's late enough in the day, I'm going to end this one here, and tomorrow, if I work tomorrow's Sunday, I'll take the little 4x36, the Harbor Freight tool. I'll take it, just unbolt it from the table and take it outside, out back, and we'll grind it out there. That way I won't be breathing it, and it won't be it won't cover the shop up. I've done it. I'm telling you, it's a mess. So we'll just flatten this side, and we'll take most of the material off of this side. Then we'll trace it to here, grind it, cut us a little shoulder in here, something like that, which will fit down inside there. The goal of it is to get everything inside this groove with the epoxy. Do one side at a time, get that in there. Once the handle's on, See how much I got to take off the sides too. It will give me room to locate that hole. And once that's done, it's clear sailing from there, I think. It's alright for a day where I wasn't even going to work on nothing besides other stuff, because it's so hot outside. We salvaged out the day pretty well. There we go. That'll do it for part 1 of the Natchez Bowie rehandle. Thank y'all very much for watching. Thank you for your support. And remember, before this series ends, we will have that Bowie knife discussion. Thank y'all, and I'll see y'all later.